Hello everybody. This video we're going to be looking at solving ratio problems. So you can often solve a problem involving ratio by setting up a proportion. Okay, and a proportion is just a statement that two ratios are equal. There's a couple ways you can go about working with proportions. The first is explained in the book here, and then I'm going to cover a way that I like to do it that I find a little bit easier and a little more straightforward. So, looking in the book here, we see that if there are 48 blue marbles, in a box of red and blue marbles, the ratio of red to blue is 3 to 4. If there are 48 blue, can you find the number of red marbles using a proportion? So 3 to 4, the ratio of red to blue, is equivalent to what number of red when you have 48 blue? So we set up our proportion like this. And change it to fraction form. So 3 over 4 equals an unknown number of red over 48. And what we want to do here is called isolating the variable. So we want to solve for the letter. And this is a skill that you're going to have to develop because it's going to come up every year in math for sure. And if you go on to physics in high school, it'll definitely be part of that curriculum as well. So we've set up our proportion. R over 48 equals 3 over 4. Now, in order to eliminate this 48, because we want to get R on this side of the equal side, right, by itself. We want to isolate it because we want to solve for R. So to get rid of this 48, well, we're going to divide by 48. And because the 48 is on the bottom here, if we multiply, it's going to cancel each other out because it's going to be 48 times R, and then you're going to divide by 48. So essentially, this 48 is going to cancel out this 48, okay? And whatever we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side. So if we're going to multiply the left side by 48, we also have to multiply the right side by 48. Okay, so then we see 48 times 3 gives us 144. And of course, these two 48s cancel each other out. So we're left with 144 over 4, which gives us 36 red marbles, which is equivalent to the same ratio as 3 over 4. So again, if you were to continue with that method, applying it to this, and this is actually page 122 in your Math Makes Sense 8 workbook, is to state the number you would multiply each side of the proportion to isolate the variable. So we want to solve for R here. So what number would you multiply? Well, you would multiply by 6 because then 6 would cancel out here and 6 would cancel out here. And you'd be left with R equals 5 times 6 over 6, and that would give you a final answer of 5. Okay, same as over here. What number would you multiply by? Well, we're going to multiply by 15 because we want our 15s to cancel out. Multiply both sides by 15. In this equation, we would multiply by 3 because then our 3's will cancel out, and 5 times 3 give you 15 over 6 on this side. There's another way you can do this. It doesn't show you in the book, but I will go ahead and show you. So here we go with my method. Okay, so the first thing I do is set up my my ratios and my proportion as fractions. Alrighty, so let me just select my pen here, and so I would just rewrite this as C over 12 equals 5 over 6. Now, the last method I showed you, we would have multiplied each side by 12. This method, what I'm going to do here is cross multiply. So I'm going to say C times 6 gives me 6C, and 12 times 5 would give me 60. So I'm left with 6C equals 60. I want to isolate that variable, so to get rid of this 6, I divide by 6. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. And of course, these will cancel each other out. So I'm just left with C on the left side. And 60 divided by 6, of course, is going to give me a 10. So 10 to 12 is the same ratio as 5 to 6. Again, we're going to look at another example over here. So I would just first write it and set it up here as a fraction, equals t over 70. So first thing I'm going to do is cross multiply, sorry. So 14 times t gives me 14t equals 3 times 70, which is 210. And I want to isolate that t, so I got to get rid of this 14, don't I? So I'm going to divide each side by 14, because whatever I do to one side, I must do to the other side. So those 14s are going to cancel each other out. And I'm going to be left with t equals 210 divided by 14, which gives me a final answer of t equals 15. And that's how we do the cross multiply method. As I mentioned before, it's just another way of doing it. If you're more comfortable, let's just erase this. If you're more comfortable doing it the first way, by all means, stick to what you feel most comfortable doing. If we were to do it the first way I talked about, let's have a look at what that would look like. So you would still set up originally as a fraction. Five over 6. And we want to get rid of this, so we would multiply by 12, multiply by 12. These would cancel each other out, and we'd be left with c equals 12 times 5, which is 60 over 6, which again gives us 10. So same way, same answer, different way, I guess you would say. Alrighty. And that's all for this video, guys and gals. I highly recommend you do your workbook pages this week before attempting the quiz, as I think it would really help you out. And of course, you're always welcome to come see me for extra help if you need it. That's it for this week, guys. Good luck.